Welcome to Beyond Expo. 欢迎来到 Beyond.
Welcome to the second year of Beyond Expo. My name is Jason Ho, the co-founder of Beyond. Last year, we had more than 300 technology companies joining us in Macau. Companies from various industries like healthcare, sustainability, and consumer technologies. Of course, our first year was not perfect, and we thank our partners and everyone who have always been supporting us. This year, as the pandemic is still continuing, traveling is still not as easy and convenient. Our team decided to try something new and move our event to the metaverse. This is a whole new experience for a lot of companies and even for us. I hope starting from today, everyone who is watching our opening ceremony right now can come join us in our metaverse. We welcome you to open your camera, meet and greet with companies, representatives, friends, and media. Also, we will have our VC meetup, the Fun at First Pitch, and Demo Day. Not only that, for these 7 days, we will have 5 summits: the Investment Summit, Consumer Tech Summit, Sustainability Summit, Healthcare Summit, and Web3 Summit. We will have more than 100 speakers from around the world joining us to talk about all these interesting topics. Topics like global trends in consumer tech. Is drought season here for venture capital? Bring different stakeholders together to create a pragmatic, sustainable future. Big brands early mover in the metaverse. What is the #1 priority drug discovery for pharma? Etc. Please visit our official website for more information. As we have already experienced this pandemic for almost 3 years, it has completely changed our lives. Technologies have been changing so fast to adapt to this new world. It seems like we have already get used to working from home, having online meetings, and have less international traveling. Technologies have been a big part of our lives, and Beyond is a platform where we believe technologies should transform traditional businesses. Technology should solve global challenges. Last but not least, technologies should be connecting us in a global scales without boundaries. We hope every year, technology companies will all gather together at Beyond to showcase the newest technologies, to be able to look for partnerships and cooperations, to be able to meet with investment institutes, media, and government representatives. Today is the first day of our event. By tradition, we will start with our opening ceremony. People often ask me what is the topic of our opening. I usually say it's interesting because our topic will be the same every year, but I believe the content will be so different. Our topic is what's next. We will invite speakers from different industries to share with us what do they think is going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years based on their experience and expertise. Last year, we had speakers from the aerospace, healthcare, investment, consumer tech sectors joining us. This year, we have another 7 renowned speakers from different sectors joining us. Before I introduce them, I would love to first invite Mr. Wang Gang, President of China Association for Science and Technology, to give us a warm welcoming remarks. Mr. Wang Gang, please.
尊敬的各位来宾、各位朋友，大家好。
Distinguished guests and dear friends, good morning. It's a real pleasure to attend the second Beyond Expo online. On behalf of the China Association for Science and Technology, I'd like to express my congratulations to the opening of the Expo. And I would also like to extend my sincere welcome and gratitude to everyone here. At present, the new generation of AI, together with other emerging technologies such as big data, blockchain, and wireless connectivity, has been growing rapidly in the close tie with the needs of real economy and people's livelihood, and has made significant contributions to improving the comprehensive national strength in science and technology. In the process of innovative development, basic science, technological progress, and multidimensional collaboration have been expanding the human perception, strengthening the cognitive ability, and creating a new research field known as the cyber-physical human systems. The Beyond Expo 2022 is a grand show for the new forms of fusion application represented by metaverse, prompted by new technologies like extended reality and digital twin. A new kind of mapping relationship and interactive mechanisms is established linking the real and the virtual world, offering an immersive experience, especially in the application of games, culture, art, tourism, and other fields. Meanwhile, autonomous driving, industrial, internet, and digital twin plan are widely and profoundly applied in multiple industrial scenarios, which effectively help enhance the quality of development. It is called as the industrial metaverse in the industry. The Beyond Expo 2022 will focus on three areas: life science, sustainable development, and consumer technology. The high quality and all scenario intelligent lifestyles will be presented in an immersive and interactive way to enlighten our future with the latest and innovative development of science and technology. With this opportunity, I would love to share 3 points with you. Firstly, we should adhere to development led by innovation. Sustainable development driven by scientific and technological innovation is the only way to address our common concern and to tackle global challenges. We must seize the opportunities of this new wave of scientific, technological, and industrial revolution led by innovation and commit to scientific researches that are fundamental, original, and future-oriented to accelerate the revolution and improve the human well-being with technological innovation so as to achieve high-quality development. Secondly, we should enhance multidimensional integration. Currently, the new forms of fusion applications like metaverse are deeply connected with the comprehensive scenario-driven artificial intelligence, foretelling the emergence of the new generation of Internet. In order to catch up with this wave, it is necessary to encourage open source sharing and learning from each other, take progressive steps, and build a system that connects the digital and the reality so as to optimize the research resources and innovative factors, hence continuously creating new economic and social values. Last but not least, we should prompt openness and collaboration. The Chinese scientific and technology community has always been an advocate of global collaboration, a contributor to innovative development, as well as a participant in scientific and technological governance. We will continue to uphold the scientific spirit and philosophy that is open, borderless, non-discriminative, and barrier-free. Together with the world's scientific community, we'll keep supporting the exchange of scientific thinking and knowledge and encouraging the vitality of technological innovation in order to face the new challenges and opportunities in the development of human society. Dear guests and friends, as President Xi Jinping put, we must get a good grasp of overarching development trend in the world, firm up confidence, and act in unison and with great motivation to promote global development and foster a development paradigm featuring benefits for all, balance, coordination, inclusiveness, win-win cooperation, and common prosperity. Let's join hands together and build a community with a shared future for mankind, led by inclusive innovation with effective actions featuring high-level openness and cooperation. Wish the Beyond Expo 2022 a great success. Thank you.
Now, let's welcome our first speaker, Dr. Roger Komberg. He is an American biochemist and professor of structural biology at Stanford University School of Medicine. Dr. Komberg was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 2006 for his studies of the process by which genetic information from DNA is copied to RNA. Dr. Roger Komberg, please.
Good day, I am Roger Kornberg, and I will speak to you about what's next in human health. I'll speak to you about something old and something new. What is old are the long-standing challenges, 3 of which I'll address today. What's new are technologies emergent that offer potential solutions to these important problems. The long-standing challenges include the development of better drugs at lower cost, more rapidly. Secondly, future pandemic preparedness. And finally, prevention, which is, of course, better than cure. There's a saying, an ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. There's no question that if a disease can be prevented, that's far better than allowing it to occur and then trying to treat it. In regard to the first challenge, better drugs more rapidly at lower cost, I will explain that the best current approach for drug development entails solution of the molecular structure of a drug candidate bound to its protein target. Based on the structure, the drug candidate can be redesigned to improve the fit to the target. The improved design is then subjected to chemical synthesis and testing. The process is repeated to improve further structure determination, molecular design, synthesis, and testing. It is repeated many times. The process is expensive and laborious. It costs a lot of money, it takes a long time. And the process is limited by time and money, as a result of which drugs are often produced that fail clinical trials. The solution to the problem is advanced computation. It has long been hoped that computer-aided drug design would enhance the process. The problem is that until now, that was not possible, or at least not to the extent that was hoped for. It is because the method of calculation of determining by computational means the strength of interaction between a potential drug and its target was limited by the capacity for computation. Ideally, one computes using the full power of chemistry. One computes using quantum mechanics. Unfortunately, a full computation by that approach takes at least 1 trillion years for a single molecular design. The available methods are much more rapid. They can be accomplished in minutes, but they don't achieve the accuracy required. What is new is a method of quantum mechanical calculation that is sufficiently rapid and achieves the desired accuracy. With this new approach only beginning to be applied, it will be possible to make molecules that are much more potent, much faster, in much less time, and ultimately without any requirement for synthesis or testing at all. The second of the long-standing challenges that I wish to address is future pandemic preparedness. Obviously, of great importance in light of all our recent experience. The solution to this problem will come from RNA therapy. I speak not of messenger RNA to produce vaccines, but rather RNA molecules that are 100 to 1,000 times smaller, only about 20 to 25 RNA building blocks or nucleotides in length. These are called small interfering RNAs. If introduced in cells, they lead to recognition of a gene sequence in a messenger RNA corresponding to that in the small interfering RNA, and a perfect match leads to destruction of the messenger RNA. In this way, by introducing a small interfering RNA into cells, one can stop the progress of viral infection, interfere with a pathway leading to unrestrained cell growth or cancer, and so forth. The problem with this approach has been that small interfering RNAs, approximately 20 to 25 nucleotides in length, are nevertheless too large and also too highly electrically charged to enter cells. They are unable to cross the surface, the bounding membrane that surrounds every cell. The problem was solved by the recent discovery of a very small modification, a small molecule that could be attached to a small interfering RNA that would enable its rapid penetration and accumulation in cells where destruction of the protein of a virus or of another offending molecule is desired. This approach has been applied for the development of a SARS-CoV-2, so a COVID drug, with great success. It has resulted in 99.9% elimination of the virus from an infected animal. The importance of this approach is not only how well it works in the case or others that I might mention, but that the appearance of any new virus or a variant of an existing virus can be dealt with immediately. The genome sequence of the virus can be determined overnight, and the corresponding sequence of a small interfering RNA created automatically, actually on a machine. And so the whole process from appearance of a new virus to the availability of a drug accomplished within a matter of days. It's further important to mention that small interfering RNAs persist in cells for a long time. So small interfering RNA drugs are not only therapeutic, but they are also preventative. They are prophylactic. They will immunize an individual against infection for a period of weeks, if not longer. This is clearly a solution not only to the problem of future pandemic preparedness, but to viral disease and very many other conditions in general. This is a wonderful new approach that's only just begun to be applied. Finally, we come to prevention. Of course, that may take many forms. I'll cite one example of particular significance that has recently been developed. So it pertains to air pollution, which, as you know, is a pressing problem everywhere in the world, which is responsible for millions of deaths every year, for hundreds of millions of days lost from work or other activity due to disease, an economic cost to the world economy estimated in several $1 trillion a year. The solution to this problem was developed for detection to warn an individual of exposure to air pollution. So a new, I should say, an extraordinary software was created that can be installed on any cell phone, the simplest of cell phones, which utilizes only the audio and visual capacities of any phone to measure very accurately every environmental parameter. That includes the concentration of particulate matter in the air, especially so-called PM 2.5s, 2.5 micron particles, which cause the greatest hazard from air pollution. But equally, the software that I have mentioned can measure temperature to within 1 degree centigrade in the immediate vicinity of an individual with his or her phone. It can measure the humidity, it can measure the wind direction, it can measure everything you might like to know. It will estimate ultraviolet light exposure, exposure to sound that may be harmful. This device will represent a warning system against every possible environmental hazard. When carried by an individual, it will protect against conditions that would otherwise lead to disease or disability or what have you. It may also be useful to conserve energy, a pressing problem around the world as well. So it won't be necessary to air condition a house or even part of a house or of a building, but only in the immediate vicinity of the individual whose exposure to heat or cold is of concern. Finally, and not less important, when installed on hundreds of millions, if not billions of cell phones, this technology will create an extraordinary data warehouse, an enormous data bank of information of very great value for human health, for insurance against disease and other consequences of environmental conditions, for municipalities to design smarter cities, and so forth. To summarize then, I have described 3 long-standing challenges. They are development of better drugs, future pandemic preparedness, and finally prevention of disease in the first place without having to resort to better drugs. The solutions are at hand. The 3 examples that I gave are fully developed and ready to be applied. In the years to come, there will be much better drugs made more rapidly at much lower cost. There should never be another pandemic. And finally, we should be well protected through a personal warning system from dangers inherent in the environment. Thank you.
Our next speaker, Mr. Zheng Xuexuan, is currently the chairman and secretary of the Party Leadership Group of China State Construction, the chairman of China State Construction Engineering Corporation Limited, which is listed as number 9 on this year's Fortune Global 500. He is also the president of China State Construction Strategy Research Institute. Mr. Zheng, please.
尊敬的各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们。
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Beyond is one of the largest and most influential international technology fairs in Asia, and it is a great honor for me to be invited to participate in this technology event. First of all, on behalf of China State Construction Engineering Corporation, I would like to extend my warmest congratulations on the opening of the Expo. I would also like to take this important opportunity to express my sincere appreciation to all the friends from all sectors of society. Innovation is the primary driving force for development. Since the 18th CPC National Congress, General Secretary Xi Jinping has placed innovation at the core of China's overall development, attached great importance to scientific and technological innovation, and put forward a series of new ideas, new judgments, and new recruitments. My company insists on following the important discussions of scientific and technological innovation and put forward by Xi Jinping, and we have fully implemented the new development concepts, thoroughly implemented the strategy of innovation-driven development, accelerated technological innovation in construction, and worked hard to promote high-quality development. First, we'll try our best to tackle core technologies in the construction field. Engineering construction is an important activity for human beings to make use of nature, transform nature, and create life. We always regard advanced construction technology as the foundation of being a man and our business. Persisting in meeting the urgent and long-term needs of the industry, we will push forward key and core technologies and strive to build strong core competitiveness of enterprises. We've mastered the world's leading construction technologies such as single building, translation, large roof, sliding complex steel structure, production, and construction. We have successfully developed major construction equipment such as aerial building machine, vertical shear machine, and have taken the lead in breaking through kilometer-level super high-rise construction technologies. The domestic three-dimensional engineering image software independently developed by us has been promoted in the market, and the carbon fiber 1,000-ton anchor cable system has been successfully applied in bridge engineering construction. Thanks to these technologies, we have invested in more than half of the world's super tall buildings over 500 meters, more than 90% of the world's super tall buildings over 300 meters, 3/4 of key airports and satellite launch bases, 1/2 of nuclear power plants, and 1/3 of urban integrated management corridors. Well, second, we have been vigorously developing new building industrialization technologies. Construction industrialization is an important trend in the development of construction industry, which is of great significance to the improvement of construction efficiency and construction quality. We have taken construction industrialization as an important development directions, plan to lay out in advance, gather superior resources, given full play to the leading and exemplary role of central construction enterprises, developed and formed a series of building industrialization technology system and product system, and took the lead in mastering the latest generation of international industrial construction technologies such as modular integrated building, prefabricated buildings, and rapid construction technologies have played a key role in national fight against the COVID pandemic. We built 1,000-bed Huashinshan Hospital in 10 days and 1,600-bed Leishanshan Hospital in 12 days, and completed construction task of the Hong Kong Infection Control Center project of North Lantau Hospital, assisted by the central government in 4 months according to the permanent construction standard. This year, we have completed the construction of 10 anti-COVID-19 projects in Hong Kong at the fastest pace. 3 years in all parts of the country, we accumulated construction of more than 700 anti-epidemic facilities. Third, we have been vigorously developing green and low-carbon construction technologies. At the general debate of the 75th sessions of the United Nations General Assembly, General Secretary Xi Jinping has announced China's goal of carbon peak and carbon neutrality. Urban and rural construction is one of the main areas of carbon emissions, and effectively reducing the carbon emissions of the whole industrial chain in the construction field is an important link to achieve the double carbon goal. We have adhered to the concept of ecological priority and green development, which is deeply integrated into the whole process of investment, planning, design, construction, and operation. We have led the formulation of more than 10 national industrial green construction standards, participated in the formulation of a number of policy documents, and developed a series of innovative products such as ultra-low energy consumptions and zero-carbon buildings. It has promoted more than 100 green construction technologies in the industry, vigorously promoted the emission reduction and resources utilization of construction wastes, and basically formed a technology research system covering the whole construction process and the application service capacity of the whole industry. In recent years, we have invested in construction of the green and low carbon building represented by Xiong'an Citizen Service Center and an ecological new city represented by Xi'an Happiness Forest Belt, overseas in the construction of the Brunei Temburong Cross Sea Bridge projects and other important international bridge. Fourth, we have vigorously explored digital technology in the construction industry. With the continuous penetration and wide application of the new generation of information technology, the competition rules of the construction industry may change dramatically, and traditional construction enterprises must accelerate on the road to digital. We adhere to the transformation and development of digital environment, strive to build the internet of the construction industry, and deeply explore the integration and innovation of big data, artificial intelligence, 3D printing, and other technologies in the field of constructions. We have realized the practical application of building information model, smart factory system, and smart site platform, and build the world's first digital production line of building curtain wall and the first intelligent manufacturing production line of heavy steel structure. We have vigorously promoted industrial digitalization, laid out construction, industrial robots, smart parking, smart venues, etc. We're ranking the first in the centralized procurement business of similar central enterprises. Science and technology lead the era, and innovation builds the future. From this new starting point, we will earnestly learn and make good use of important achievements of this expo, focus on frontier areas, increase innovation efforts, and contribute to the development of sustainability. Last but not least, I wish this expo a complete success. Wish you good health. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Shi Yigong. He is the president of Westlake University. Westlake University is a new type of non-profit higher education institution organized by social forces and supported by the state, and founded by Hangzhou Westlake Education Foundation. Mr. Shi is academician of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, foreign academician of the United States National Academy of Sciences. He is also the deputy chair of the China Association for Science and Technology. Mr. Shi, please.
大家好，我是施一公。
Hello everyone, I'm Shi Yigong. It's such a pleasure for me to have the opportunity to share my views on the future development of China's technology at the International Technology Innovation Expo. So today I'd like to share my views with you on the theme of exploring China's future, innovation-driven development model. Since we're talking about technology innovation, obviously it is related to our education, technology, and talent. These three elements, technology, education, and talent, ultimately constitute the main axis of innovation-driven development. First of all, let's talk about education, especially higher education. It's safe to say that China is the world's leading country in terms of scale and is on its way to becoming a world power in higher education. By the end of 2020, China had more than 40 million students enrolled in all 2,000 institutions of higher learning. The quantity is surely the largest in the world, and the quality is also steadily improving. For example, by 2021, both in the Times Higher Education World University Ranking and the QS World University Ranking, Chinese universities had been advancing up the list in the world, with 6 to 7 Chinese universities making the top 100. But there are some problems with higher education in our country. We have a high education attainment rate, but we lack cutting-edge researchers. We generally pursue the general and comprehensive education, but have no significant advantages or distinctive features. We emphasize knowledge and practicality, but there is still a gap between us and other countries in terms of innovation. We've developed way much more general talents than the most outstanding and innovative ones. There have been numerous academic achievements, but relatively few breakthroughs. Second, let's briefly talk about the current situation of China's technology. Over the past 20 years, thanks to the long-term steady investment in technology, China is now among the top 3 countries in the world in terms of technology indicators, whether it's the number of articles, time cited, or the numbers of patents applied for, approved, granted, etc. All our technology indicators have steadily entered the top 3 in the world. Third, let's briefly talk about China's talent. In 1978, the third plenary session of the 11th Central Committee of the CPC ushered in the reform opening up of China and opened the door for Chinese students to study abroad. On December 26th of the same year, 52 scholars from mainland China departed for the United States. It was the first group of students to study abroad after the reform and opening up started, with an average age of over 42. By the end of 2019, more than 6 million Chinese students have traveled abroad to study in other countries in the world, and more than 4 million of them have returned home after their study, bringing great impact and changes to all aspects of Chinese society. It's safe to say that China has the largest talent team in the world. Of course, although we have a wealth of talent, being number one in the world, there is still a problem with our talent team. That is the cream of the top of the crop. The top talent is relatively scarce. To sum up, in terms of higher education, technology, and technological talent, China is one of the top countries in the world and is on its way to becoming a world power. However, there is an innovation index that reflects the innovation ability of a country, and so far, China is still ranked outside the top 10 in the Global Technology Innovation Index. In other words, although China has become a big power in technology, higher education, and talent cultivation, and is on its way to becoming a world power, we haven't become a big power or a world power worthy of the name in terms of innovation ability. We still have a long way to go. Therefore, judging from such an analysis, China's future development can only rely on a high-end leadership and innovation-driven development strategy, and the core of this strategy is the top talent. The top talent we're talking about isn't only the core talent in basic research, applied research, core technology, and cutting-edge technology, but also the top talent in all fields, in all aspects, from law to finance to social governance to national governance. I think the top talent will be the most crucial factor in a country's high-end leadership and innovation-driven development strategy. I'd like to give you an example, which is Westlake University. The founding of Westlake University was designed with a high-end leadership and innovation-driven development strategy as the premise and goal. As early as 11 years ago, a group of returned scholars in the Western Returned Scholars Association were discussing the future of technology and education in China. They reached a consensus to establish a new type of university which would be small but exquisite, with a high starting point and research-oriented, gathering first-class teachers, creating a first-class curriculum, educating first-class talents, and producing first-class results. They would adopt a new model to create a new type of world-class university. Such a university has been successfully established in Hangzhou, called Westlake University. It was officially approved by the Ministry of Education in February 2018 and was officially established in Hangzhou in October of the same year. Westlake University is a new type of university. What's new in it is that it received great support from the country and was established by social forces. Westlake University was founded to help technology grow, to implement innovation-driven development, to develop talent, and to make some exploratory reforms in the fields of science, education. Such a positioning of the university was strongly supported by the country in all aspects, as well as by all walks of life, including individuals, enterprises, and local governments. After 4 years of hard work, Westlake University now has 201 PhD supervisors, most of them world-leading scientists in their respective fields of research. The purpose of having a top-notch faculty is to develop top-notch students. With the active support of the Ministry of Education, Westlake University has been actively reforming and innovating in all aspects of admission and ability training. After years of hard work, there were more than 1,200 PhD students in Westlake University with the support of their PhD supervisors. These students are conducting innovative scientific research on major basic research topics and core technologies, striving for breakthroughs. Today, as a brand new concept, the new research university has been gradually incorporated into the top-level design of the country and is increasingly accepted and recognized by the whole society in the future. There is no doubt that Westlake University will become a first-class university that reflects Chinese wisdom and is held in high esteem worldwide. This university will have the most outstanding scientists in the world, be able to develop the best young talent to undertake the most advanced basic and applied research, explore the mechanism and system of scientific research and education that fits China's national condition, and provide a model that can be used for the sustainable development of high-tech in China, or even support or an example and make a contribution to the human civilization that makes the Chinese nation proud. I think maybe 15 years later, Westlake University would fully represent the wisdom and competence of Chinese people and ranking among the best universities in the world. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dr. Robin Zeng. He is a Chinese battery expert and entrepreneur. He is best known as the founder, chairman, and CEO of lithium-ion battery manufacturer, CATL. Since the company's founding in 2011, CATL's mission has been to innovate, to power people's lives with green power and efficient energy storage solutions. Dr. Zheng, please.
Distinguished guests, friends from the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robin Zeng from CATL. It's my great honor to participate in the opening ceremony of the Beyond Expo 2022 and share my thoughts on the future with you. CATL is a new energy innovative technologies company, and we're committed to taking electrochemical energy storage plus renewable energy power generation as the core to replace stationary fossil energy, thus reducing dependence on thermal power generation and energy production. Taking EV battery as the core to replace mobile fossil energy such as petroleum, taking electrification plus intellectualization as the core to promote the integrated innovation of market applications, providing sustainable, affordable, and reliable new energy solutions for all walks of life. The three topics of this year's Beyond, healthcare, sustainability, and consumer tech, are actually closely related to CATL and the new energy industry we're engaged in. Life science is the eternal theme of human beings. At present, environmental degradation is bringing unprecedented pressure to all human beings in our Earth. Disasters caused by global warming have threatened the survival and health of human beings. Therefore, it is the responsibility of every citizen of the Earth to spare no efforts to reduce carbon emission. Last year, we supplied 40% of the world's energy storage batteries, helping to greatly improve the efficiency of renewable energy consumption. In the first half of this year, our EV batteries accounted for 34.8% of the global market, providing electrification solutions for 57 countries and regions around the world. Behind this data is a huge amount of carbon emission reduction. On average, the entire life cycle of a pure electric vehicle contributes about 14.1 ton of carbon emission reduction. I believe that our batteries can facilitate the electrification of more sectors and make a greater contribution to global carbon neutrality. High quality is the key to sustainable development. The new energy industry must work hard in two directions. One is that the products must be perfect so that our consumers can use them with confidence. And the other is that the batteries must be low carbon for consumers to protect the environment. CATL has been working in these two directions for a long time. Our extreme manufacturing has improved the defect rate of battery products from ppm to ppb level, reducing it from 1 in a million to 1 in a billion. Our Ningbo production base has also become the only lighthouse factory in the battery industry recognized by the World Economic Forum. Our Yibin production base has achieved carbon neutrality in the new energy industry, becoming the world's first zero-carbon battery factory. We're also committed to sharing our high-quality sustainable development experience with upstream and downstream partners to help reduce carbon emissions in the entire industry chain. The third topic is consumer tech. As electric cars continue to penetrate the market, batteries as the core power source are becoming a typical consumer technology. Over the years, CATL has been committed to leveraging innovative technologies to solve consumers' pain points in terms of range, safety, low temperature performance, and charging speed. With the continuous improvement of battery performance, more and more consumers have joined new trends championed by battery technologies. For example, supported by our pioneering CTP technology, Chilling battery has achieved the highest integration level in the world, offering 1,000 kilometers range and 40 fast charging. Many OEMs received inquiries from the consumers about purchasing chilling-powered models right after our chilling battery launch. The first model powered by chilling batteries will be launched in the first quarter of next year. Friends in Macau are welcome to stay tuned. Macau is a beautiful and vibrant city. What's next? I think in the near future, Macau can take the lead in becoming a zero-carbon city, a global model of comprehensive electrification and carbon neutrality. In the process of electrifying Macau, CATL intends to facilitate Macau in three aspects. The first is the electrification of transportation. In recent years, the Macau SAR government has actively responded to the country's call to achieve the goal of peaking carbon emission and achieving carbon neutrality, advocated green transportation plus the strong awareness of environmental protection among Macau residents, all of which have provided favorable conditions for Macau's electrification. As an experienced player in the field, CATL has the world's leading solutions for electrification of various transportation facilities. For the urban characters of Macau, CATL's Evergo module battery swapping solutions has outstanding advantages. The battery can be adapted to different brands and models. It only takes 1 minute to swap a battery block. The battery swap station highlights high compatibilities, need-based battery rental, and complementary with charging services. There are up to 48 batteries in one station, which can fully meet the high-frequency demand for battery swap. Not only that, the battery swap station can also become a UPS of the city, ensuring the uninterrupted supply of electricity in a certain region. Secondly, Macau boasts a well-developed water transportation network, and the development of electric ships is at the right time. CATL is the first EV battery company that has passed the approval and inspection of the latest testing guidelines of China Classification Society inspection guidelines for battery electric ships. Our batteries have been widely used in electric passenger vessels, sightseeing ships, and have accumulated a large number of solutions. Once Macau realizes the electrification of water transportation, it will be able to bid farewell to diesel smell and noise. Secondly, we are poised to support energy conservation and carbon emission reduction in Macau's electricity consumption. Macau's commercial electricity accounts for about 80%, and most of the electricity is not supplied locally. Therefore, improving the efficiency of urban energy utilization is an inevitable requirement for carbon emission reduction, and energy storage can play a huge role in the power transmission and distribution and power consumption, and are featuring long service life, high level of integration, and sustainable safety. Our energy storage systems, everyone is able to achieve a cycle life of 10,000 cycles, and compatible with converts ranging from 60V to 1500V. It covers an area of only 1.69 square meters, which is especially sustainable for the application of industrial and commercial energy storage. The energy storage systems can facilitate frequency regulations and peak load of power grid, and at the same time enables large commercial facilities to effectively reduce electricity cost. At present, there are more than 5 million new energy vehicles in the world equipped with CATL batteries. Thirdly, we will innovate to develop the aftermarket. We have established the world's largest after-sale service network and have a large number of product after-sale solutions. Dear ladies and friends, technology creates a better life, and electrification helps achieve energy freedom. I believe that electrifying Macau will help Macau become a zero-carbon garden that shines in the world. CATL will go all out to increase investment in innovation and use the most advanced new energy solutions with lowest consumption of carbon emission, so as to contribute to the high quality and sustainable development of Macau and world. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Zhang Lei. He is the founder of Hill House, a private equity firm focused on investment in the consumer, industrials, renewables, and business services sectors. He earned his bachelor degree in economics from Renmin University and an MBA degree from Yale University, where he currently serves as chair of the Asia Development Council. Mr. Zhang, please.
尊敬的各位嘉宾
Distinguished guests, dear friends, good morning.
很荣幸与大家再次相聚在今年的 Beyond
It's my great honor to meet all of you again at Beyond Expo 2022.
主题呢 What's next?
The theme of the expo is What's Next?
希望我来聊聊
I'm invited to share my opinions about the future.
面对当下的变化和不确定性
In the face of current changes and uncertainty, everyone hopes to find the good key to solve the problems.
越来越多
We'd actually see more and more people pay closer attention to the long-term development, the climate change, and social responsibility.
ESG 已经成为了
The ESG
确定
has become a certain future.
有数据统计呢2020年
According to the statistics, the global ESG investment
万亿
scale in 2022 reached around $100 million, a 14-fold increase compared with that of year 2006.
一直秉承的
Hill House Group, as an innovative industrial and investment institution, is always insisting on philosophy to invest for a better world. On one hand, by exploring optimized resources allocation, we pursue environment justice, society, and other long-term value. On the other hand, we choose fellow travelers with great insight to achieve a win-win result of social value and economic value through sustainable innovation. I believe the most sustainable ESG investment will surely become a more important trend and create great value. So in this era of sustainable development, what can we institutional investors do? I'd like to share my ideas with you. First, the foundation should be strengthened. Just like the basic support of new infrastructure, the entire internet networking and data center, for example, to the digitization of industrial manufacturing industry and intelligent industry, the ESG also needs the support of infrastructure, including the establishment of data qualification, information disclosure, and evaluation system. Institutional investors can, during the management of investment process and the selection of investment targets, take the ESG into consideration, and through self-built capacity and investment cooperation, especially the digital capacity, to build the ESG infrastructure in your investment ecosystem and the sustainable database. We can introduce a digitized ESG performance system for many corporate investors, which will help relevant corporate investees to collect their ESG data and do industrial benchmarking. Thus, an information disclosure system that meets international standards will be established to help investees lay a foundation of sustainable development by leading investees collect and accumulate data. Meanwhile, as an Asian framework, to strive for evaluating carbon emission reduction performance, Hill House also adopts the quantification method, indeed. As for reducing carbon emission based on the carbon criterion of product and technology, taking the growth prospects and our carbon emission anticipation, the whole carbon emission reduction pattern is formed. By estimation, our understanding about each carbon emission reduction path and efficiency, it helps the group discover the industrial value and promote new perspectives. And under the background of carbon peaking and carbon neutrality, only by making the carbon emissions clear can we shoot the arrow right at the target of its reduction. Hill House invested the first provider in China who focused on the solutions to carbon emission management software and consulting, deploying infrastructure service of carbon neutrality to help more enterprise make carbon emission reduction plans with a high input-output ratio. To realize efficient tracing and disclosure of carbon emission reduction results. Second, innovation should be insisted on. We always believe that technology is an ultimate solution to sustainable development. During the process, what institutional investors should do is to support technology innovation and green technology with long-term funds in terms of key domains and key phases of sustainable development to encourage and attract more institutions to play a role in and support technology development. Thus, an assembly effect of innovation will be formed to finally solve social and environmental problems during the development process. In terms of carbon neutrality, for example, by comprehensive research and profound insight and selection of industries with key influence on and significance to the promotion of carbon neutrality, we discovered those excellent companies that can solve their key problems by technology and business model innovation. We'd invest them. We empower them, and we will accompany their growth. We recently invested in a company developing perovskite and gold laminated photovoltaic cells. We help the group overcome the death valley of primitive technology innovation from 0 to 1. And based on our DVC, that is deep value creation, a low corruption after investment service system, we support their R&D engineering talent expansion and help their connection of industrial resources so that they will indulge in the industrialization of photovoltaic industries. Last, talents should be focused. Talents are always precious resources. The booming ESG market will surely trigger heavy demands of ESG talents. To my knowledge, the total number of American companies that hired chief sustainability officers in 2020 had exceeded that of the previous 3 years. As for industries, we published a research report to list investment opportunities in 8 key industries realizing carbon neutrality, including electricity, transportation industry, new material, architecture, agriculture, negative carbon emission, information communication, and digitization. Numerous professionals are needed in this regard. According to International Energy Agency, up to 2030, clean energy investment driven by carbon neutrality will create 14 million working posts. And the data show that in the past 5 years, recruiting numbers for green skills globally increased by 8%, several times of the GDP growth rate, while obvious vacancies show in terms of talent supply. In the future, like finance and HR departments, the carbon management department will become a basic functional department. We need to pay special attention to the topic of sustainable development and put forward new requirements to the talents. The ESG involves climate, society, governance, technology, and even finance. So it's not enough to master the knowledge of only one industry. Talents shall have international insight. This compound innovative carbon talents with multi-subject knowledge and insight will definitely become the real core in the process of sustainable development. Last year, Hill House, together with more than 10 investees, including CTL, LNG, BYD, and Carbon Stock, which are also representative in the field of carbon neutrality, hold special carbon neutrality job fairs in several universities across the country. And this year we will join hands with 42 manufacturing companies to hold joint on-campus job fairs. We hope that with our talent empowering service, we can help investees find better carbon talents to provide core impetus to the sustainable innovation of enterprises. Sustainable development is related to the future of every one of us. Hill House is willing to play a key role in the promotion of prosperous sustainable development and a partner in the practice of ESG. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Alan Gabor. He has been appointed as the president of Merck China and executive vice president of Merck's electronics business sector in China. Since February 1st, 2018, he is also a permanent member of Merck's Electronics Executive Committee, responsible for China's topics. Alan, please.
Hello, my name is Al Gabor. I am the president of Merck China. I'm also leading our electronics business here in China. Thank you for inviting me to Beyond Meta Expo. I'm very pleased to meet all of you on this innovative new platform, and I'm delighted to share with you some insights on artificial intelligence and the biomedicine industry, and hopefully also share some of the excitement that we at Merck China feel about this new frontier in healthcare. As a leading global science and technology company, Merck embraces artificial intelligence both in our daily operations and in our R&D efforts. This comes naturally to us because with our 3 business sectors, healthcare, life science, and electronics, we have a broad portfolio that is ideally suited to identify and use these synergies. Merck is very interested in learning from nature, and AI is helping us to achieve this better than ever before. Biology is converging with engineering sciences like chemistry, artificial intelligence, and material science. Having expertise in all of these fields, Merck is ready to connect the dots and to be a reliable partner for your business. AI has the potential to accelerate the discovery of the next generation of drugs and therapies. This is exciting because it holds the promise of more personal and targeted therapies, which can make them more effective and accessible for patients. For Merck, our scientists see AI's capabilities to analyze preclinical data and literature for drug discovery and biomarker identification. We regard the application of AI as a key digital strategy to unlock great benefits for our medicinal R&D, especially for compound optimization, molecule and compound testing, and processing. And we are not only harnessing the power of AI in our own research, Merck's life science business also empowers the research and production of our partners. We support new biomedicine research and innovative materials, equipment, and new AI-powered technical solutions. Merck is applying the advancements in AI to the compound screening of hundreds of millions of drug candidates. With the support of AI learning and data, we help our customers and partners to save time and optimize their own drug discovery and manufacturing. In our electronics business, a fast-growing part of the Merck's business matrix, we are actively involved in further innovating existing computer architectures. And with our innovative materials, we are enabling the new semiconductors and future technologies that are needed for the AI revolution in healthcare. We are proud to provide the critical materials for neuromorphic chips and quantum computing. They are just among the more than 150 products that we provide to over 100 chip makers across China, covering their entire wafer fabrication and packaging processes. Merck China is more than doubling its investment for our electronics business with at least another 1 billion yuan before 2025, with a focus on the chip manufacturing industry. Globally, our Merck Group will invest more than 3 billion euros by 2025 in this same area. At Merck, we are already using AI in many fields, deploying it to increasingly greater extent. We formed a partnership in the field of AI-based active ingredient research with Ictos of France, and to accelerate drug discovery by automatically designing virtual novel molecules with a desired activity to treat a certain disease. Here in China, Merck was a launch partner with Insilico's AI platform, Chemistry 42. It is groundbreaking as small molecule discovery becomes much faster. In collaboration with major industrial companies, renowned research institutes and universities, Merck has established an innovation platform called Keen. Under Keen, specific applications have been developed that are applying AI. For example, self-optimizing production units. We are also investing in smart AI technologies in our own production. We currently have a pilot project running in collaboration with Siemens. As you know well, biomedical sciences has a very broad range and deals with various disciplines of medical research, such as genetics, epidemiology, clinical virology, and medical microbiology. Natural and engineering sciences are converging at a fast pace in our quest to better understand human health and disease. Like the fields of anatomy, cell biology, biochemistry, microbiology, genetics and microbiology, immunology, mathematics, statistics, and bioinformatics. All of this interdisciplinarity results in the creation of huge data sets that makes AI so immensely helpful for biomedical science and for the development of new treatment technologies that are currently emerging. One example, our scientists are actively experimenting with organs-on-a-chip solutions. While research is moving from in vivo to in vitro, complex algorithms help to process the huge amount of data generated. While scientists and human know-how continues to be needed, AI has the fascinating capability to estimate lots of results without direct human interaction. It can help with text mining, patient-centric information retrieval, biomedical text evaluation, diagnostic assistance, clinical event forecasting, and many other tasks. At Merck, we believe that artificial intelligence is poised to broadly reshape medicine and to improve the experiences of both clinicians and especially patients. Still, tremendous challenges remain for all of us actively starting to use AI. The biggest one is to create the necessary user trust in AI systems and how the training data sets are composed. That's why Merck is also actively involved in developing the proper management systems to use data responsibly and equitably, including ethnic monitoring. At Merck, we have confidence in the power of artificial intelligence, and we believe that it will contribute to a brilliant future.
Our last speaker is Mr. Charles Lee. He's the founder and chairman of MicroConnect. He was most recently chief executive of Hong Kong Exchanges and Clearing Limited from January 2010 to December 2020. During this time, he orchestrated some of the most significant strategic initiatives in HKEX history, including the acquisition of the London Metal Exchange in 2012, the launch of the Shanghai-Hong Kong Stock Connect cross-border trading scheme in 2014, Shenzhen-Hong Kong Stock Connect in 2016, Bond Connect in 2017, and the listing reforms in 2018. Charles, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charles Lee. I'm chairman and founder of MicroConnect. I'm really very pleased to be able to speak at the Beyond International Technology Innovation Expo in Macau. And on the subject of what's next, I'll be very happy to share some of the experiences and insight that we have developed over the last couple of years since I left Hong Kong Exchange. I have been in finance for more than 25 years now, and including an 11-year running the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. And I think that experience gave me tremendous insight as to how the financial system works in our economy and in our society. I think the modern Wall Street model, which has worked wonderfully for over 100 years now, is probably one of the most important human innovation in our society, because we trying to organize capital into big corporations and then divide them up into stocks and shares so that they can be held by the public. So on the one hand, you concentrate finances so that centralized markets are able to allocate them to important large corporations to develop the economy. On the other hand, the shareholding system allows that capital to be distributed and held by the general public. That model works for the industrial age because the economy at the grassroots level are unclear and very difficult to gather information. So you need a centralized, institutionalized, professionally staffed Wall Street to organize everything together so that information can be discovered, price can be discovered, and execution can be delivered in the traditional financial market systems. But I think what's next is the most interesting question, is whether or not what we have seen happening in e-commerce, in social media, whether the revolutionary changes and disruptions that we have witnessed over the last 2 decades could potentially similarly disrupt the traditional Wall Street model. More precisely, I think we all know that in the industrial age, we all need to go to a department store because the department store need to aggregate all the goods and merchandise together so that we all go to the central market to buy what we need. But the digital age, the internet age, allow that distribution and commerce to be conducted online via internet through digital technologies. and then allow logistics to be developed so that we are able to actually shop at home and have our goods delivered and have marketplaces, online marketplaces, to allow money and goods to be exchanged. That's a fundamental disruption of traditional commerce. And I believe that we are now coming to the age that similar disruption is going to happen to financial services as well. Because at least in China today, the entire economy is largely become cashless. What that means is that most of the financial activities in China, even at the most base small businesses level, are completely digital, which means that they're completely transparent. With the digitalization of the businesses at the grassroots level, transparent, digital, the question becomes, do we still need to force the little guys to organize into big corporations? And many of them will never do. Millions of them will never do. China have 17 million small businesses. And I think it is time now for us to actually have the opportunity to completely change the face and change the structure of financial services to allow finance for the first time to be actually connected as a sustainable capital to provide growth and to fund growth and capex and development at the small businesses level. And more importantly, that allows the global investment community to be able to finally access to probably the longest sustained growth opportunity and quality returns from a blue ocean of small businesses that have not yet currently been available because of the concentrated nature of our financial services. So at Macro Connect, we're trying to innovate a complete new way of delivering financial services. Instead of using the traditional product, the traditional discovery processes, and the traditional delivery processes, we actually adopted a complete new way of doing it. It's what we call a new operating system, a MicroStar. Has 5 key elements. It's a new product, the 2 arms, and the 2 maps. That's really is the new MicroStar operating system to do finance differently. First of all, why we wanted to focus on small businesses? It is very clear small businesses are largely resides in the consumer sector. And that entire sector and the small businesses contribute to close to 60% of China's GDP, 7% of government revenues, and close to 80% of employment. So it is clearly the sector where the most vibrant part of China's economy currently exists and growth, and capital need to find a way to access into that tremendously important sector. And we set up our mission to achieve that. The way to do so is, as I said, is a new system that we call MicroStart that consists of 5 key elements: 1 product, 2 arms, and 2 maps. I think on the 1 product is really it's called a daily revenue contract, DRC. This is not debt because we have to, as investors, have to share the downside. And it's not equity because equity is not economically feasible for us to execute that small levels on large scale. But it is a daily, direct, contractual arrangement to pay back from your revenue in exchange for upfront capex investment. So it's called a daily revenue contract, a DRC. It's a complete new asset class. It's the asset class that fit for purpose that is very helpful to the small businesses. Meanwhile, the daily recovery of returns allowed the investors to take transparent, distributed, reliable, risk-managed, and diversified high-quality returns. So it's really a win-win for all, kind of a new product. But that product, because of its unique nature, require two very different systems of ensuring delivery. Because on that distributed level, we have to be able to collect on the investment. So there are two arms. One arm is in charge of collecting money digitally, directly from the revenue from the little businesses. And that sort of a digital account split system in the various consolidated payment systems in China is highly advanced and highly feasible, and is actually being practiced by many industries. So we just intend to utilize the existing technology and systems to allow our investors to be able to secure daily digital collection of returns. On the other hand, once the money is collected, we want to make sure that we have a modern, new kind of exchange where the underlying infrastructure is a blockchain, allow us to authenticate that every single dollar that is collected every day into the system is irrevocably recorded in the blockchain, belongs to the investors who choose to invest in any particular segment, any particular store, or for any particular period. So that ultimate penetrated regulatory oversight through technology is the way that we're able to do this on scale with efficiency, with very minimum human and costly management and delivery, monitoring and enforcement system, which will not be feasible economically for the small businesses. Maps, and those two maps are specialized terms essentially describing an engine that allows us to deploy such huge numbers of a small investment individual size on large scale with efficiency. And the other map is really allowing us to find ways to make sure that we are able to accurately project economic and financial performances of particular kind of businesses in particular locations, so the investment can be rolled out not only with scale and efficiency, but with accuracy and quality, so that the investment can continue on a sustainable basis. So this new way of doing things has never been tried before, but because of the digitalization of China, it is highly feasible. We have started the journey. We have invested in over 1,000 stores in China across over 100 different sectors, largely focused in the 4 large industries: retail, consumer, services, and cultural activities. Those are the sectors where it's the basic needs of everyday life of the Chinese consumers. So despite all the challenges and despite all the perceptions that small businesses in China are risky individually and may not necessarily be investable, as a whole, if we are able to build a portfolio large enough, diversified enough, distributed enough, then we will truly be able to find a new way of investing, a new paradigm of financial services that is transparent, distributed, diversified, sustainable. And most importantly, because the fact that we are able to do so in such a distributed manner, impacting potentially hundreds of thousands and potentially millions of small businesses, our aspiration is that in the next 10 years, we are able to create and fund 1 million small businesses with $1 million annual revenues, and which in turn will be able to create and maintain at least 10 million jobs. Because this sort of an new investment paradigm will likely allow us to promote impact investing, ESG investing, so that investing, we're not only doing good, we can also do well. And that is our dream, and that is something that we are now on a journey to achieve. And I think that is only possible because of the deep and widespread digitalization and technology innovation in China, particularly in the payment industry. And I think with that, we can see that China's consumer sector, which may be the farthest away from Wall Street in the traditional financial services methodologies, and thanks to technology, they probably will become the closest and most likely going to become the most successful, because they are able to give us a way to invest simply, more efficiently, more equitably, and more inclusively. And I hope that we will be back again and updating you on our progress. And I hope that we will be able to travel on that journey together with many of you who have similar dreams and aspirations. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak at this great Expo activity. Thank you.